tweeting out recently because we've been seeing this terribly ugly iPhone edition, or if you even want to call it an edition. Which of course there's... Well, hey, it's been a while. Haven't talked about the iPhone 8 in a couple weeks. Because I try to be interesting, you know? I try to make things that people can find a tad more entertaining than just, oh, it might have Touch ID, oh, it might not have Touch ID. Won't have it, yes it will, won't have it, yes it will, won't have it, yes it will. It'll be on the power button, it'll be on the back, it'll be underneath the display. No, it won't be there at all. We've heard it all at this point. The reason I'm not talking about it as much as probably everyone else is, or as much as I used to, is because what's the point? Honestly, like, look, okay, Venya Geskin tweeted that, again, they are going into trial production, even though a couple months ago I thought we announced to everyone that they had officially started mass production. That's what the leaks were saying. That's what everyone was saying. They're going into mass production in a matter of weeks, and they have just minutes to decide what to do with Touch ID, and the assembly process is too difficult, and all this. We go through all of that, and here we are 2 months later, and we're still getting the same reports all over again. Now, once again, they're saying they're entering trial production, and this time Touch ID is underneath the display. It's like, but we just had reports that said that wasn't happening. Now it is happening. Now it is going into production, even though we thought it already did. Part of this, I think, is simply these leakers trying to get people interested in topics as much as possible. As I've mentioned in the past, I think no matter what happens in September, it is going to disappoint you, even if it is the dream scenario. Even if the fingerprint reader is underneath the display, the price is $800, not $1,000. It comes with AirPods. It comes in 5 different color options. There's a 512 gigabyte option. The world is still going to be disappointed by the iPhone, just like it is every single year. And yet everyone buys it, and then everyone likes it, but no one likes to mention all the great features. They just want to complain there's no headphone jack. Android's had all these options for years. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be no matter what, you guys. So no one out there, I think, should be thinking, well, if it's $1,400, then it will be a failure. Oh, if they don't get Touch ID underneath the display, then I'm not gonna buy it. It's going to destroy the iPhone lineup. You guys gotta understand something. Us techie people that go on YouTube and watch tech videos, especially my kind of tech videos, you need to understand, you're not the majority of iPhone buyers. Most people who love iPhones and buy them every single year are pretty blind to that loyalty. They're not people that go on YouTube and decide if it's worth it. They just buy it every single year because they know it'll be shiny, made by Apple, and they're going to enjoy it. I think a big misconception Apple is making is that if the price is really high, a lot of people will stop buying it. I think history has proven that that is never the case. Apple has risen the price of everything monstrous amounts in the past, and it really never affected the sales. It always really resulted in just more people spending more money on their products. And if they do that with the iPhone 8, most of Apple's fan base is still gonna buy it. I get that some of you out there are gonna be like, no, I'm drawing the line here. You're not the majority, okay? This iPhone is still going to sell like crazy. It's going to be out of stock almost immediately. And the current rumor is that with the trial production we're going through right now, they're only making about 200 iPhones a day, which is essentially nothing. But reports are saying that it will not be delayed, and I'm thinking technically it won't be delayed because they'll let pre-orders start in September, but quantities are going to be so incredibly low that it's going to feel like AirPods, as in the second the pre-orders go live and the second those sales start coming in, it'll say, sure, shipping in 1 to 2 weeks. But it'll only be like that for a couple minutes, maybe not even 60 seconds, and then every time you log on to the Apple Store, it'll say ships in 6 to 8 weeks. It's going to be incredibly delayed, incredibly pricey, and of course very, very difficult to get your hands on one, even if you have the money for it. And yes, in case you were curious, the most recent leak says that they embedded the fingerprint reader underneath the display, but I don't even care that they've mentioned that anymore because we've flip-flopped on this idea so much in the past that I don't think anyone actually knows. I think that random reporters are just shouting out random things to try to get the pot stirred. So I'm just gonna stop telling you guys what rumors are saying, and I'm just going to tell you what I am predicting is going to happen. Because at this point, really, whatever I say is not really much different than what any leaker says, because they flip-flop on opinions and stories so much that I don't believe anything they have to say anymore. So some rumors are suggesting that 3D Face Unlock hardware-wise is ready, but they're scrambling on the next iPhone to make the software ready for it. This sounds like a believable rumor to me, as well as wireless charging. The wireless charging accessory will not be ready when the iPhone launches, so when everyone first first gets the iPhone edition, it will not have the 3D Face Unlock feature, and it will not have wireless charging. But when there's a software update later in the year, iOS 11.1, those options will be granted to the new iPhone, and the accessories will be ready, and then 3D Face Unlock will be an option, and it'll work really, really well. I think that 3D Face Unlock will be built into Apple Pay so that it replaces the fingerprint reader. I don't think that they're going to have Touch ID on the next iPhone. A lot of people say it'll be on the Apple logo, but I think we know from the past that Apple is not interested in making their logo an actual functional button. As cool as some of you may think that is, that would be a very out of shape, whack Touch ID sensor, and it may not be as accurate as it had been in the past. And also, I think Apple just doesn't want actual functional features on the back of their phone. That's just for design. You're meant to touch the front. And a lot of people think it'll be on the elongated power button. I don't think it will be because of all the cases we're seeing. Manufacturers are already making iPhone cases, and in these cases, they are covering up the power button. So why, if they did put Touch ID in the power button, would all these case manufacturers be okay with covering it up? I also think that with a fingerprint reader on the power button, it would be a lot harder to set up because there's a lot less surface area for that button to register opposed to just a standard circle. And I don't think they'll have it underneath the display because the technology is just being unveiled of how to do it, and it's possible that in the R&D department, Apple figured out how to embed it underneath the display. However, they couldn't figure out a way to do it fast enough so that they could make enough models of the next iPhone in time. So you may see it on the next iPhone, or you may not, depending on how accurate and reliable 3D Face Unlock is. If that is better, they might ditch Touch ID altogether, and they might start implementing 3D Face Unlock on all of their products to replace Touch ID because it may be more reliable and actually be more secure. I think the starting price of the next iPhone is going to be $1,200 to keep it far away from the 7S price point. That way there is still demand for the lower end iPhones. And I personally don't think it'll include AirPods. I think that'll be too much money. It'll still include Lightning headphones. It'll still include an audio jack adapter to Lightning. It may also feature a 5-watt USB-C to Lightning cable instead of a USB-A cable to Lightning. Finally, Apple hasn't done that soon enough. And that's what I'm predicting is gonna happen. It's gonna be a big disappointment to everyone who wanted more because of all these leaks and rumors that overhyped it beyond belief. I know that's not what everyone wants to happen, and it's not necessarily what I want to happen. I'm just telling you this is what I believe is going to happen. Obviously, that's not my dream scenario, but I'm just saying this is what it's gonna be like. For those people saying that 3D Face Unlock could never beat Touch ID, I've read your comments. A lot of people are saying, so I could just grab someone's phone, hold it up to them, unlock it, and then I could run off with it, right? You're thinking a little two-dimensionally. You're thinking too much like a Touch ID sensor. Think about this. When you are using your phone, you are looking at it, right? With 3D Face Unlock, if anyone you don't want grabs your phone and starts using it, the sensors at the top could register that it is a different person and immediately lock the phone. Something fingerprint readers don't do because they only register that it's the authenticated user when you open the phone and never again. With 3D Face Unlock, it could be continually scanning to make sure that no one who you don't want using your phone is using it. You could add different profiles, as in different faces to your phone. If it's okay for your family or your friends to use your phone, you have no problem with that. That way, when they grab it from you and you hand it off from them, the phone keeps on working and it doesn't lock itself. I'm still very comfortable with the idea that we may be ditching Touch ID. I know you don't want to hear that, but I'm telling you this is what you should expect. And if anything better than what I just explained happens, we'll be surprised and it'll be a happy day. So to be honest, I am very kind of sick of this iPhone 8 hype. It's been going on for over a year now, and answers we've been asking for a while keep flip-flopping. So that's why I'm just trying to tell everyone, can you just wait? Can we just wait to see what happens? Can we stop guessing? It's not even 2 months away. God, we are so close. Can you just wait a little bit longer and Apple will tell us all these things? Okay, that's enough of that. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one.